Hello. We are talking today about the Strength card. Strength is such an interesting card because I think we often misunderstand what true strength is. So we think that strength is force or control, but strength in the tarot, in general for me, is way more subtle than that. So strength is, of course, bravery and courage and resilience. Yes, it is that. But strength is also grace, compassion, patience, restraint, self-mastery. It is compassion. It is the ability to meet something that is difficult without becoming hard or harsh. When I teach yoga, and my students are in Warrior 2, I ask them to stay soft. Because I believe that the real warrior is the gentle one, the softer one. And Warrior 2 in yoga, if you do yoga, if you teach yoga, Warrior 2 in particular is not a posture of fighting. Symbolically, Warrior 2 means the moment before the fights. Is when you're thinking if the battle is worth fighting, or how to respond to a situation, or if you need to respond at all, or you can let it go. And so I think Warrior 2 in yoga is symbolically very connected to the Strength card. Because real strength is not like attacking the world and show everyone that you are the strongest, that you're willing to fight every battle, but real strength is the maturity to pause before reacting and to choose your response instead of being controlled by your anger, the fear, the pride, or the pain. And I don't mean only outward battles with other people. I also mean our inner struggles, our inner battles. Our battles with anxiety, with self-doubt, with harsh inner criticism. The battles with all the parts of ourselves that we try to judge, we reject, we hide, we don't accept. So strength is asking us to navigate those places with compassion and kindness. Do not shame them, do not make them feel guilty, do not fight these parts of us as enemies, because they're not, because it's still us. And when we are able to do this with ourselves, to be that compassionate and kind with ourselves, we can do the same with other people. It becomes easier. So everything starts within us. This is why in the imagery, and we'll go to the imagery later, at the end, but you see there is the lion, because, and this lion is such a powerful imagery, because the lion represents our instinctual nature, the wild part of us, the primal part of us, the part that feels desire, that it's protective, and the part that can react. And the message of this energy, of the strength energy, is not rejecting, not get rid of our wildness, because we shouldn't. Without our wildness, life becomes very flat, and we can lose the desire, the passion, we can lose our aliveness, our instinct, our creativity. We can lose the part of us that can feel deeply, feel in the body. And that part of us is truly important because it says a lot. It knows things before the mind knows them. So strength is not about taming the wild part of ourselves in a harsh way, but it's about befriending them. It's about getting to know them, listening to them, but not letting them take over. So strength is the ability to feel it all, to feel all we're experiencing in the body, and still choose to act in a way that is constructive and healthy instead of destructive and toxic. For example, you can feel the strength energy when you are angry, but you don't act from cruelty. Or when you are hurt, but you don't go immediately to hurt someone else back. Or when you feel fear, but you don't let fear write your whole story and keep you also frozen in life. One thing about this card is that another layer of this card actually is that this card means also lust. The occultist Crowley renamed this card lust. And I think, yes, I think that this adds a very important layer to this card, because strength in this way is also connected to desire, sexuality, passion, that life force moving in our body. So it can speak about sexual awakening, sacred sexuality, intimacy, and also the healthy expression of passion and desire. But the question here becomes, are we in a relationship with that energy of desire, or we are controlled by it? Are we using desire to connect with someone else, to open, to feel more alive? Or are we using it to escape a deeper truth within us, some kind of emptiness that we don't want to face? And in this way, this card bridges the spiritual life, the spirituality, for example, of the High Priestess, and the most primal physical part of us. It reminds us that desire, passion, anger are not bad feelings. They just need consciousness, they need love, they need maturity and compassion, they need a very strong heart to hold them. So this is why strength is not an easy card, because real strength requires a big heart, requires you to be bigger than your small self. Strength really requires you to forgive someone when all the parts of you want to stay bitter and resentful, or to choose love when instead you want to choose fear, or to choose compassion instead of judgment. It's a beautiful energy that asks us to go in that places of pain, anger, greed, fear, jealousy, shame, places where we feel really truly vulnerable, and really see what's happening and facing that beast inside us, the shadow. I think this can be one of the shadow side of the card strength. When it's reversed, or it's you can feel when it's in the dark side, when there are other cards, or it's reversed, or just you feel it when you see it. Is that we fear to feel. When the strength is in the shadow, we are afraid to be vulnerable. We don't want to see the beast in us. We don't accept it. It's when we fear that if we open the door to our true and deep emotions, to our vulnerability, we will be overwhelmed. Won't be able to stay in control. And so instead, we let the inner critic lead. We act from anger and resentment. We invalidate our feelings and also other people's feelings. And we tell ourselves stories about our life that feed the darker side instead of the light. So in life, at any time, we are given a choice when we are in front of a challenging moment. So we can choose to see ourselves as a victim of the inner pushing and pulling, of the uncertainty, of the fear, all these external circumstances we cannot control. Or we can choose to forge another path, a path that is more peaceful, more conscious, brighter, a path where we become the hero of our own story. Because ultimately, this is real strength. This is what strength asks us, to be our own hero and to save ourselves from that lake of negative moods, I wouldn't say negative, but dark emotions where we sometimes risk drowning. And I'm not saying to reject them, to reject those dark feelings or emotions. We have to acknowledge, absolutely, but we don't have to drown in them. And so the strength card asks you, be your hero and go to save yourself. And I think it's a beautiful meaning for this card. Life doesn't become easier when we are strong, because life is still life. But it means that every challenge becomes a turning point. Every difficult moment becomes an opportunity to show ourselves who we are and how resilient and courageous we can be. So we may not be able to change external circumstances, but using the strength energy, we can change how we respond to them, and also the story we tell ourselves about them. And so I'm gonna tell you some questions that when you see the card strength, you can ask yourself, especially if you see other cards around you, around the strength card. Okay, let's start. And you can answer these questions maybe in the comments if you like. And you can also like this video if you enjoyed it. You can subscribe. This would be a good way to support me. So let's start with the question. Can you meet your fear without letting it rule you? Can you meet your anger without becoming destructive? Can you meet your desire without losing yourself? Can you meet your vulnerability without shutting down? And this is so important. Can you meet all of them are important, but this is important. Can you meet your vulnerability without shutting down? Can you meet the wild part of yourself with love instead of shame, with compassion and kindness instead of judgment? So strength is truly asking you to stop reacting to life from your wounds, but instead starting responding from the heart. Because the heart of the strength energy is a big one, is a big, big heart. It requires you to have a big heart that you didn't think you could have. And now let's move to the imagery. This is a fun part for me. Okay, remember each tarot deck gives a different expression or meaning or focus of the energy of the card. And I like exploring them because with each deck you will have a different message sometime. This one from the World Unknown, it reminds me of kindness, of gentleness. You see this lion and this rose. And so that this is the card that for me gives me the message to stay gentle. The lion is not like ruining or breaking the rose, but it's just gently keeping this rose in his mouth without hurting the rose. And this is a beautiful, beautiful message. And I also do this like masculine energy, this kind of like, this is like life force, like I told you, the primal force within us, the sun, right? Powerful. This is a more traditional one, so it's kind of like a gentle female trying to, you know, trusting a lion and placing her hands closer to the face and the mouth, knowing that the lion is not gonna hurt her. So there is a lot of trust in your own capacity or capacity to master your own primal instinct without getting rid of them or reject them. So there is also this friendly connection between this feminine energy and this more masculine wildness. It's just a beautiful card. I like this one from I forgot the name of this tarot, the Light Seers. Yes, the Light Seers tarot by Chris Ann, one of my favorites too. You can tell, you know, it seems that she's taking off the mask, right? Or she's trying to bring together two parts of her, which is like the feminine side, the gentleness, and the primal side, where all this like desire and passion and also triggering feelings are, and they live together in this woman, and they can coexist peacefully. There is also a lamb, innocence, beautiful. Like I love this card. And then we have, this is one of my favorite tarot decks, and this is like, again, I think I already told you in other videos, if you don't have this deck and if you didn't read the book, The Little Prince, go and read it, because you're gonna have so many lessons reading this book. And this is in the book The Little Prince, which is a gentle, innocent you know, person, like little boy, meets a fox, and the fox is not tamed. The fox is doesn't know what friendship is, and the fox asks the prince, the little prince, to tame her or him. I don't know, to tame him or her. Let's say her. To tame her. And there is this kind of journey where the little prince starts taming the fox, and at the end they become friends. And this is like the journey of us trying to gently tame our inner instinct, the primal instinct, and at the end we can become friends with them and we can trust them, and in trust them we start also trusting ourselves more. Read if you don't know the book, read The Little Prince, not just for this story, but because the whole book is just amazing. So I think we are done here, and I'm gonna make a tarot reading about this energy, about the strength, and thank you for listening to me. And again, if you enjoyed it, if you are here at the end, please like, subscribe, or comment. It really helps me. It's really like a easy way to support me and my work. And yeah, I'll see you next time.